Hi, everybody. My name is Sam Amline, and this is my reflection on assignment two. I was in group six. We did learning tools in group six. We had some pretty great collaboration during the last couple weeks. Really good information going back and forth between people. And I can even say I was a little surprised with how much I even got from this assignment. And so this is my synthesis on some of the things that actually happened in our group. So, one of the first things that I wanted to reflect to everybody that learning tools, our focus are definitely, and people brought this up a lot in their assignments, were a bridge to differentiation. In school, in class, uh, teachers always focus on how to get every style of learner involved in their class. And differentiation does that. You can get your auditory learner, your visual learner, your kinesthetic learner involved in your class. And learning tools is a great way to bridge that differentiation to your lesson. Um, we had some people talk about visual tools through animation programs and graphics. Powtoons was one that's brought up, even something like we're doing now, Google Slides, things that people could see. Auditory, we had one of our group members bring up a cool video that students learning capitals and countries to songs, and also had a visual representation too with really bright colors and the shapes of their countries. Um, and we've seen different programs like Powtoons and even a program like Play Pause It, which goes through videos and goes through different ways that kids can be assessed while watching videos. We saw that differentiation was a key to using these technology and learning tools. It was a really big point that learning tools could really get across to your classroom. Even some of our group members weren't even in the educational sector. We had one group member that was more of a professional in I don't know how else to describe it, like professional workforce and not education. And he would describe how even visual learning tools helped workers and his employees learn what they had to do with visual representation. So differentiation didn't just work through the classroom; it also was in the professional sector. The second thing that we took away was that even when districts had ample access to technology, they still struggled using learning tools. This kind of connects with the discussion we had for this round of assignments, where using technology and integrating technology are two different things. I saw on a couple different assignments that teachers had one-on-one Chromebooks, they had iPads, they had really open use of technology, but they saw teachers in their building, they saw other educators not being able to integrate these learning tools and not being able to integrate technology into their classroom. So a lot of our group members talked about the difficulties that could be associated just with actually integrating the tech into your classroom. Okay, access does not magically give you authentic use of these tools. The effort still needs to be put forth and the tools need to be supplied to the kids. And I think that's a great reason to have this type of group work and assignment. We actually got to share and look up and really research how authentic learning tools can affect your classroom, and you know even studied research coming from individuals that are a lot smarter than me that prove that these certain things we're looking up can work in your classroom settings. Lastly, I saw that engagement was also a pretty big topic for our group. Engagement was probably brought up in almost all posts. We talked about how tech tools can add engagement with the use of, again, differentiation. We saw some group members post the use of kinesthetic apps through tech, the use of some apps like Plickers, where it has kids holding up cards and looking at screens and seeing, real time uh, their answers being assessed. We had another group member suggest, hey, maybe doing using Socrative, which is a program that does assessment as well, but using, a computer somewhere located in the room doing actual races to, answer questions. Just trying to get the kids engaged was a big part of tech tools and learning tools. Engagement really was focused on. Um, Even authentic tools like creating. I mean, creating is a big part of engagement. If a kid could take that content and do something with that content, that's a big plus on engagement. And again, we had group members bring up apps like Powtoons and other creative uh, creating apps. Switching gears, my takeaways from the actual collaboration itself, not on the content, but just the group work and working with others. Never look down on online group work because, you know, I've never done an online project before, especially through Google Plus, but I can say now that it was successful. I met the objectives that I think that were trying to be put upon us, which trying to learn something to bring back to your class or put in your professional memory bank so that you can use later on. I mean, I've responded to um, multiple of my Oreo cookie reviews saying that one of the positive reviews is, "Hey, you did the right thing because I'm going to use something that you research in my classroom." I mean, there's a couple big ideas in there, a couple programs and apps that I've never heard of and I'm going to use now. So I really appreciated this assignment in that way because it wasn't just, us posting sunshine and rainbows and cool things to each other and saying, great job. It was actually authentic learning, which I actually took something away from, which I could definitely appreciate. The last thing, it might sound like a joke to some people, but I really never got into blogging, and I really didn't think a lot of people still did blogging. But I can say that they're definitely still relevant when I use some of these blogs to get the information that I needed. I mean, learned about some things that I never really would have known about unless I had to be forced to look at blogs for some of this information. So, I mean, I could tell people now if they snicker at the idea of looking at a blog or trying that it's not something of the past. It's not some dinosaur relic of an idea. There's still lots of great information on current blogs, even past blogs that don't operate anymore. But blogs are still something that you can get some information on and really boost your educational knowledge. For this slides, I have some photo credits. Everything was taken from Google Images and some of these sites that are on the screen. Thank you, and I hope this was an insightful reflection on our Group 6 learning tools. Again, this is Sam Amline.